Sevim Dağdelen is a former German Member of Parliament who served as Deputy Chair of the German-Chinese Parliamentary Group.
This visit is above all about economic survival because Germany is under enormous pressure. Energy prices surged after the sanctions on Russia since 2022, and now US tariff policy is adding further strain. And at the same time, China remains Germany's largest trading partner. EU-China trade reached around 750 billion euros in 2025, so making it one of the largest economic relationships in the world. So that's why it is all about economic survival. German industry, especially automotive and the mechanical industry, engineering, depends heavily on the Chinese market. So I do not see a genuine geopolitical repositioning. Berlin is still largely aligned with Washington. So what we are likely to see is economic pragmatism out of necessity, not strategic independence.
I mean, this visit comes amid increasing unpredictability, as we know, in US trade policy under Mr. Trump. And I wonder, could tensions with the US create some kind of space for a changed German foreign policy?
Well, US tariffs are hitting German industry very hard. And after Washington's decoupling measures, Chinese exports to the US dropped by about 55% in last year, 2025, while exports to the European Union rose by roughly 15%. So that shift alone shows how dramatically global trade patterns are changing. But if Germany fails to deepen cooperation with China, especially in key industrial sections, like the automotive or, for example, the engineering, this becomes an existential issue for us. So without access to the Chinese market and industrial cooperation, core pillars of Germany's economy are at risk, and the pressure from Washington could create space for a more balanced policy. But only Berlin is willing to use, the question is if Berlin is willing to use this space.
Let's talk about that, because there is no unified EU position towards China, is there? I mean, should Germany, should Berlin take some kind of leadership role in shaping an EU strategy on China, or should it simply focus primarily on its national economic interests?
Well, I think Germany should push for a coherent EU strategy aimed at reducing trade restrictions and avoiding further escalation. Continuing with secondary sanctions or additional punitive measures against Chinese companies would risk triggering a spiral that harms Europe more than anyone else. And take, for example, the raw earth materials as an example. China controls about 60% of global extraction and 90% of processing. So Europe is in no position at all to win a prolonged economic confrontation in this area. And that means a realistic strategy must recognize these structural dependencies.